Reminder that you're watching the Press Row. I'm Jenny here with Barry talking about the start of the college football season. And Barry, obviously OU yet to kick off as we're talking on Friday. They'll play on Saturday night, 6 o'clock. That's a pay-per-view game against Akron. Easy for me to say, right? I don't think anybody's questioning the outcome of this game, how it plays out. We'll have to wait and see in terms of, number of points and margin of victory and that sort of thing. But obviously the game against Tennessee in Knoxville next week looms pretty large. What does OU need to see? What do you want to see out of the Sooners as they prepare to head to Knoxville? What are those things that may be a little bit beyond just a score, a yardage total, those sorts of things that need to come out of this game against Akron?
I think what the Sooners need to take out of this game is confidence. Whereas, I don't expect Oklahoma to struggle with Akron the way Oklahoma State struggled with Central Michigan. But if it were to happen, let's say OU, didn't put away Akron for a long time, I think that could be a mental problem because we're talking about a program that I think is suffering a crisis of confidence after the two 34-point beatings they took last year. Baylor whacked Oklahoma around, then Clemson did it. This is a program unaccustomed to losing games by 34 points. Now it's happened twice in a 4 or 5 game span. They need to start restoring and rebuilding that confidence. And one way you do that is you beat Akron 52-10.
Yeah.
If you mess around with Akron and it's 24-13, or if it's 27-20 late in the third quarter, that would not be good for Oklahoma's confidence. That would start raising some doubts, planting some negative seeds before the Tennessee trip. So taking care of business in whatever form, in whatever dominant form, whether that means a kickoff return, interception return, ever how they can get a dominant foot on Akron, I think is very important.
Yeah,
more so than in most season openers.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that, Barry, because OU's season openers are sometimes a little bit, shaky, and not necessarily because players aren't playing well, but lots of times we've seen coaches sort of hold parts of the playbook back. Oklahoma not necessarily playing the greatest in season openers. That's kind of become a trend under Bob Stoops, whether it's at home or on the road. Even some of the really great seasons, we've seen Oklahoma open with not fantastic openers. But rarely, it's not every year that you have in your non-conference schedule a road game against an up-and-coming team like Tennessee. Lots of really positive momentum in Knoxville. They think they've got a chance to win their division in the SEC. And we all know that, when you win your division in the SEC, you've always got a chance to potentially play for a national championship. So I think the environment's going to be great. To me, Barry, if I look at, obviously there's been a lot of talk about the offense for good reason. New coordinator, new quarterback, all the fireworks that we expect out of the backfield and the offense. But to me, my biggest question mark is the defense. Are they improved over a year ago? We're not going to know just how improved or not improved they are after Akron because, as you've pointed out, the Zips aren't that great. So we're not going to have a great barometer. But I definitely want to see a high level of play from the defensive line, which lost such, big contributors off of last year. I want to see, more solid play out of the secondary. Do they get turned around as often? Do they get confused? Do they miss assignments? How does that shake out against a lesser opponent? I want to see out of Oklahoma, and I would think that they would want to too, to have that kind of sharpness and focus on the defensive side of the ball. I think that's going to be important because Tennessee, I think, will have some weapons on offense to counter what the Sooners are going to do on defense. So they need to get out there and have a good performance on Saturday. And frankly, Barry, I don't know how much improved the defense is. There's thought that Kerry Cooks in the secondary has turned things around. Having Mike Stoops up in the box will help things during the game. But we're not going to know about this Sooner defense, which I think is a big question mark heading into this year, until probably that Tennessee game. And who knows what the answer is going to be to the big question about the defense.
When we talk about the secondary, what we really mean are the safeties Terry Bird, Stephen Parker, Ahmad Thomas.
Right.
Parker, I think, coming around. Those other two guys never really seemed to get it done. And you're right. The problem is Akron is not much of a test. Akron's quarterback situation a little bit shaky. It's not a Cooper Rush. You know, Central Michigan against Oklahoma State last night. Cooper Rush is a veteran, good quarterback who can do some things. Akron really not equipped for that. So if Oklahoma struggles with Akron, the OU defense struggles with Akron, that's a bad sign. So you're right that the defense is what we really need to get some answers on, and it's going to be tough to find against Akron, even with a dominant performance.
Yeah, definitely so. Yeah, I'm not saying we're going to walk away feeling one way or another about the OU defense. But as you say, if they do struggle, to me, those are big red flags. I don't think we'll see it. So then I think the real tests aren't going to be decided until that game in Knoxville here in a week.